Hey, y'all, if you want a personalized shout out, roast, pep talk, or just an inside joke from Sis and Tell, we are now on Cameo.
Birthdays, breakups, bar mitzvahs, we do it all. So go find us on cameo.com by searching Sis and Tell.
Okay, now on to the show.
Sis and Tell, a whole lot of talk about a whole lot of nothing. Sis and Tell, a whole lot of talk about a whole lot of nothing.
Hey, Allie.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Just recuperating from prom.
Ugh, the
Actual
worst time
prom.
of the year for me.
I know,
I'm over it, but
It's the most fun time of the year for me.
it's so stressful. It is so
Oh,
stressful.
It was not. I mean, look, there's a lot of logistics, and I had two. I had two junior
I know.
promers, and our prom prices have gotten outrageous. Did I tell you how much we pay?
Yeah, we talked about that, but also I feel like you complain about it being two, but it's kind of the same as having twins and giving birth to two at the same time. I'm not underestimating
I
the
thought it was
pain.
efficient. No, I
Yeah,
thought it
it's
was
very
no.
efficient. Yeah,
No, but I
okay.
said I liked it, and I had two.
Oh,
I was
okay.
saying was going through it twice, but I thought it was awesome. Which was really funny is the difference between Ruby's experience and Oscar's, because Ruby's prom weekend was like a wedding weekend. There was like an agenda, multiple events, lots of flowers. The girls made bouquets. All the girls like brought different types of flowers, and then they put together bouquets. And
Wow.
then Oscar, and like they have like pictures and dinner and this and the shuttle and then meeting up here, meeting up there, and after party and pre-party. And Oscar was like, what time are you doing pictures with your friends? And he's like, I don't know, 7:30. I go, you mean 15 minutes before sundown?
Exactly.
He goes, oh, let me make a couple of calls.
Uh-huh.
And then he had to get ready in like 5 minutes because his friend was picking him up for pictures, which were at like 5 o'clock
Yeah.
and or 4:30. And he's like, I didn't shower. I was like, well, go take pictures. You'll come back here, because we hosted like a Chipotle dinner at our house. And he showered and then put his suit back on. It all worked out.
I like the celebratory nature of prom. I like the pomp and circumstance. I like the
Yeah.
dress up. I like the pictures, all that. It's post prom that stresses me out. Where they're going to be. If you're the host family, you've got to
Oh,
stress
yeah.
about all those kids, make it to your house, and then staying alive, frankly,
Oh,
overnight.
yeah.
If you're not the host family, you're just making sure that your kid made it to the place where they said they were going to make it to.
Thank
It's
God
not
for
the
Find My Phone.
I know. And I said it's not the era when we grew up where our parents just assumed we were where we were supposed to be.
Right.
And then we showed up a day later, maybe 2 days later, and we were fine. Thank goodness.
Well, we established a rule. One was if anyone's throwing up, they can't stay here.
Right. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Right? I'm like, I'm not in charge of a throwing up child.
Yeah.
And number two, the curfew was 1 a.m. And I'm not going to name any names, but all of the girls made it back before 1:05 a.m. except for
Perfect.
one who said she was on the way. And then 20 minutes passes, 25 minutes
Oh my God.
passes,
This is giving me
45
anxiety.
minutes passes. And I had one of them call her, and it went straight to voicemail. And then the worst case scenario was entering my head. I was really worried about what had happened to her, and is she really on the way? Is her phone dead? Did something happen in the Uber? And then we tried calling the boyfriend, and the boyfriend's friend was at our house, and he didn't have his phone on him, and we didn't have his number. I mean, it was like this whole thing. And then all of a sudden her phone was working again. It was ringing, and I was like, great, go. Do you stalk her anywhere? Snapchat, Live 360, can you see her location? And we realized she had fallen asleep at her boyfriend's house. They had both fallen asleep. So, but still, and one of Ruby's friends was like, Miss Amanda, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry you're going through this. You should just go to bed. I'm sure she's there. I'm sure she's asleep. And I'm like, okay. But still, like all night, I'm like thinking of all these like Netflix documentary scenarios. And then eventually in the morning, she woke up and she totally freaked out, because she did not mean to fall asleep, and she saw like 30 missed calls from all these people, and then she wanted to know if she was still allowed to come to our house for breakfast. And I was like, and she's like, was so worried I was gonna be mad at her. I'm like, I was worried. You just need to tell your mom. You just need to tell your mom what's happening. And her mom was, was like, we are that very similar parenting styles, so we were all on the same page. But mistakes happen,
Right.
and we
Are
were
you
just glad
alive?
she was
Yes.
okay. Yes,
Don't bury the
okay,
headline.
great, yeah.
All right. Do you also understand why I'm so happy right now? Is because you totally just proved my point.
That's true.
So you started
Yeah.
this episode gaslighting me, pretending like prom is like Disney World
Right.
for juniors and
Yes,
seniors and
yeah.
parents alike. And then you literally just told the most nerve-wracking story I
Yeah,
could imagine.
you're right.
That is my worst nightmare. Is staying up all night praying that someone
Oh,
is not in
man.
terrible shape somewhere, and that, and luckily that had a happy ending, but this is what I'm talking
You're
about.
right. I know. You're right.
That gave me anxiety. It's not even my kids, and I wasn't even up with you that night. Yes, this is what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Oh my
Right.
gosh.
But it was, they do junior and senior prom together. So this year I was like, okay, what would you do different? Right. And Ruby brought one of her best friends from camp as her date, and who's also one of Oscar's best friends from camp. So they
Yeah.
were both very happy to have him in the house, and that was so fun. But we'll see what happens next year with dates and groups, and I might be hosting 5 times more kids for a Chipotle dinner.
Right.
Which I'm happy to do. I'm happy with it's the spending the night. That's the whole thing. But
I'm
I like
telling
being
you,
able to
it's not
track my
prom.
kids.
It's what happens after prom. That is
Right.
the
Post.
entire, yes, yeah, that is the
Yeah.
whole stress point for me and for parents everywhere. All right, everything worked out okay. So you know how I like to go down, I think we all do. We like to go down these social media rabbit holes, and I can watch certain videos ad nauseum. Like, here are the top ones of late. Number one,
Yes.
I can always watch a good hair straightening video or
Uh-huh.
like hair
The steaming,
transformation.
how they do the steaming. I
All
like
of
the
it.
guys. I like it
Yes.
when they transform the guys, and they said you have not
I
seen the
haven't
hair.
seen the guys. No,
Well,
no.
so someone said women's got what makeup is to women, a haircut is to guys. Right? It
Oh,
can
okay.
totally
Right.
transform them. And
Absolutely.
like these guys will go into these barbers with like overgrown hair and beards and looking scraggly, and then they'll give them these amazing haircuts that fit their face shape and their personality, and they look younger
Totally
and
different.
handsome and put
Yes.
together.
Hair can be transformative for sure.
Yes,
Yes, I could
absolutely.
watch that all day. I can watch, these are rather new, but have you seen the videos where people are sitting in a room? It looks like an office, a doctor's office waiting room, but they're waiting for their dogs to choose them. It's
You know
like,
that's AI.
it is.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
Allison.
so
Yeah,
sad.
it's a great concept. The concept is like they're in like a waiting room and they send
Yeah.
these rescue dogs in, and the rescue dog will go up to a person, and then that's the dog that they adopt. That
Yes.
is AI.
All of that's AI
It's
because I've
all
watched
yeah.
so many of
There's so
those
many. Yeah,
videos.
you think all these rescues are doing that? No. It's not.
Oh,
I'm
it's
so
such a great
sorry. I
concept,
wish there were
though.
that many people. I think people would come out for an event like that, but I think you have to pre-screen people, and you would have to pre-screen the dogs that they'd be
Right.
comfortable.
But can't they do that? It's such a great idea.
It is a great idea. And maybe a rescue has done that since the AI video has come out, but
Because it's, one of my favorite reality shows is Love is Blind. So this is sort of, doggy love is blind, right? Or
Yeah.
adoption love is blind. And then I always wonder, like, did the people then, like, after the cameras were off, go, I don't
I'm not
really want
feeling
that
it.
dog. Yeah, I'm
I
not
don't
really
know.
feeling it. That
I'm
was
not
fun
really
for
a
the
beagle
moment.
person. Right.
Exactly. Oh, man. All
I
right. Well,
know.
I'm going to
It's a
scratch
sweet
those off my
concept.
list.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
What's
sorry. And
next?
sorry to
What's
anybody
next?
else who also
The-
was duped by that.
Yeah, the hair straightening is real. That's
The hair
good.
straightening. Now you're going to tell me that's fake.
I mean, it could be.
Okay, so I'm going to put this in the category of this may be real, but I'm assuming it's fake. These bungee workout videos. Have you seen these?
Where they're like bungees and people like bounce up and down from the
Yes.
ceiling, and
But
no,
they're
I think
synchronized and they look like Cirque du Soleil performers.
yes,
They're
I would
that
go do that
amazing.
with you. I would, and then I'd probably like smack right into you.
Okay. So I'm laughing
Yeah.
because one popped up last night and I'm watching it. And I was like, what are you doing? I was like, sorry, I'm just obsessed with these bungee workout videos because I want to do it, but there's no way it really looks like that. Well, as soon as I say that, the next video that pops up is like a bungee workout group in a different part of the country, which must be the real people trying the
Yeah.
bungee. They're like stuck midair. This woman is bent over and she's like trying to like get her balance and her arms can
Right.
barely touch the ground
Yeah.
and she's cracking up. Another one's just literally I mean, I was laughing. So I go, this would be me. This is
Right.
how it really happens.
That's the
It is
reality
the
of
other
it.
you're right. The
Yeah.
other one is either AI, I'm convinced,
Or
or these are
professionals.
professional
It's
dancers
It's all
who
the
are
instructors who are in the class,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
It's not the actual like people like us, the
Yeah.
Joe Schmoes.
Yeah, which makes me realize I can't trust anything anymore on social media. I don't know, honestly, I don't know what is real and what is fake and what is duping me and what's trying to get me to buy the product and what swears it works and what doesn't. Nothing.
Speaking of what is real, what is not real, I think me and you and Bubba were talking about the jury or jury duty, that show that came out,
Yes,
well, it was like 2 or 3 years ago or
at
longer,
least. Yeah.
where and the concept, if you're not aware, listeners, it's basically a fake documentary only to one person of jury duty, of what happens when you get picked in that process and this case and following these jurors, and everyone was an actor except for one person, and in the end they revealed to him that it was all set up.
It
So
was
they've
so
done
good.
the same people who brought you this also are doing the company retreat, which is now you can watch. Was it on Netflix or Amazon Prime? I can't remember.
I think Amazon Prime. Yeah.
So that's the next one is a company retreat, in which this guy has been hired as a temp assistant for the HR director who's in charge of the company retreat. And I asked Aaron, what would be the next one, right? Like, what could they do? Because it has to be like a controlled environment,
Yeah.
right? Like with the retreat, they can take over the entire resort. With jury duty, they sequestered them. And they can, also, if they went out to that restaurant, they could control that. Like, what could be the next one where they can dupe someone like that?
I was going to say something like a destination wedding, but then you would
Yes.
supposedly know everybody, but unless you were working, right? You were one of the people working
That's
for the
yes.
company doing the
That's
wedding.
so funny because that's exactly what the conclusion we came to was a destination wedding where you would probably be the assistant to the wedding coordinator,
Yeah.
right? So that you're getting all the to-dos, and as the assistant to the wedding coordinator who has touch points with literally everyone
Yeah.
in that group, you would also have to engage with the groom and the parents and then the staff of the venue. That's so funny. We said the
Which,
exact
by the
same
way,
thing.
I don't know if you've started to watch Company Retreat. I love Jury Duty. I love James Marsden.
Oh
but
my God, I love James
I
Marsden.
started watching Company Retreat and I made it about 2.5 minutes before I had to turn it off.
So
it feels so contrived to me.
Yeah, yes, the actors don't look. There's some weird stuff that happened in Jury Duty where I was like, no one would actually act like that.
Right.
But it felt so immediate in
Yeah.
Company Retreat.
It also felt normal. The Company Retreat feels like overacting. The whole thing.
Yes.
It feels like they're like characters from The Office,
Yes.
except really bad actors from The Office. And
Yeah.
the actors from The Office are good actors. So
Right.
I'm not sure it's going to make it to a third season. I'm not sure they're going to have this destination wedding, but
Well, it's
yeah,
hard,
that could
and
be funny.
they use all improvisers, but they are all it felt a lot of it feels a little too scripted with the actors talking to the camera
Yeah.
when the guy they're duping is not even there.
Yeah.
But this is not a new concept. Do you remember Joe Schmo?
Yes. Yeah.
Which was I think the original one where everyone thought they were in a Big Brother type reality show, except he was the one person who didn't know they were all actors. There was also one where it was like American Idol with singers, and they only chose bad singers, and they had
I didn't see that one.
and all the singers had no idea. I think they may have also chosen one person. who was a terrible singer, and that was so mean.
But all of this goes back to the Truman Show, which is that
Mm.
concept refined, but also for the big screen, which was to me one of the best movies. I mean, it was brilliant, and also said a lot about life, like a controlled environment, and it was very sort of meta and self-reflective about our life in general and what that looks like, and and what is reality TV,
Mhm.
turning into. I mean, it was predictive in the sense of that we are willing to go to very far lengths for entertainment, and so much so controlling a life and a human being in their environment just to see what the reaction is, and is that possible?
I think my feelings would get hurt.
Right.
If I was like, first of all, I don't think I'd fall for it. I'm
Right.
too savvy. I think I'd figure out
Well,
what was
I
going
say I
on.
wouldn't fall for it, but I fell for the choose your own adventure animal adoptions.
Right.
So maybe I am one of those gullible people.
But that was a 10-second video. But being it with these people for 2.5, 3 weeks,
Yeah,
you would
yeah.
totally figure out something was weird.
Yeah.
You know, I think now people get to the point where, I mean, they'd have to maybe pick an older person who would not know who maybe doesn't watch a lot of television. I mean, I'm sure there's a whole process they go through to find these people, like people who aren't on social media, people who don't watch a lot of television.
Right.
They need those people. We watch way too much television to be a part of something like this.
Well, and also this guy, what I do know about him from the 2.5 minutes that I watched is that he's a professional temp. So he has probably seen things that feel like,
Yeah.
you can't make this up. And he's been to so many different companies. So some of this felt, okay, yeah, another crazy family business. But I just couldn't make it. I just do wonder because the jury guy duty, I think he won $100,000 at the end, and he didn't know that this was going to happen.
Yeah.
He took home a pretty big
Yeah,
cash
there's
purse.
if there's
Yeah.
enough money, you kind of forgive and forget.
Exactly. You duped me
Oh,
for 3
all
months.
right.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and also he's got to be getting a paycheck, which is really funny. So they're actually paying him to be
Yeah.
on this show, and then I guess they'll pay him again. I don't know.
On top
I
of
don't know how it
that,
ends.
they better. They
Yeah.
better, right? Yeah. Oh, man. I think the only thing I would fall for is if I was also put on like cast for like a fake reality TV.
Right.
And then but I still think I would figure it out, you know?
Right. But also, what have we come to in our society that basically we're still making shows about duping someone? I mean, this is not, Alan Funt, Candid
Oh,
Camera.
yeah.
Candid
Yes.
Camera, is that right?
Yeah.
As I
Candid
say it doesn't.
Camera.
Yeah. And then,
That was
what's his
before
name?
Truman Show. It was
Yeah.
Candid Camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that the name of the show? Well, how come when I
Yes.
say it, it doesn't make sense? I
Well,
know
what
Alan
else would-
Funt.
Yeah. What else
Okay.
would it be? Is there
I don't
another
know.
version of
It's like when
Candid
you say a certain
Camera?
word, and the more you say it, it doesn't feel
Is
like
that
it's
a
a real
word?
word.
Yeah. Allison, is that a word? Yeah. It's Alan Funt. I'm impressed that you remember.
I remember him. I can picture
Smile,
him.
You're
on
Candid
Camera. When was that show? When did that air?
Oh my God. It ran in various forms from 1948
No.
to 2014. Now, I don't know if that was continuous, but that's when it started and that's when it ended.
Wow.
But he created the show, and it began as a radio program called. Guess what the radio version was called?
Candid Radio.
Nope.
Candid Volume. Candid Audio.
Very, very close. You're so close.
Random Radio. I don't know.
Candid Microphone.
No, it was not.
Yeah,
That's the
Candid
worst
Mic-
name.
It
That
is the worst name. Candid Audio is pretty bad too.
So then all
And-
those shows stemmed from that original version, right? From the
Yeah.
OG, from Candid Camera. And then you had Punked, right?
Uh-huh.
That was
with
Kutcher,
Ashton. Oh,
Ashton Kutcher.
God,
And
that
then
would
you
give
also
me
had
so much anxiety. Oh,
I know,
man.
I know. And then you had who are those guys who are the
Oh, the Practical Jokers?
Impractical Jokers.
Impractical Jokers.
Impractical Jokers. They're pretty funny too because they dare each other. So it's not just
Yeah.
they're not pulling stunts. They're also daring
It's
each
like a
other to
game
do these
show
things, which is
within it.
funny. Then I saw one, I don't think it lasted very long, but I think it was basketball players, and they were doing all of these, practical jokes.
You mean the Harlem Globetrotters?
No, it was not the Harlem Globetrotters. I can't even remember. It was some bad
Huh.
reality show. But I mean, the concept is the same. It's just people trying to execute it and make it more original. But nothing's new under the sun. Everybody's just trying to recreate it. In fact, I saw today that there's a new Harry Potter series. They're
Oh,
redoing
yeah.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, and people are not happy with J.K. Rowling. So, and I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of different information about that. There's a lot of there's also the Carbonaro effect, which is a magician.
Yes. I love him. I have totally seen that. Okay. That puts
My
together
friend-
my two favorite things. I do love those, the punking, but I also love magic.
You do?
It's really good.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that. My friend Haley was on the Carbonaro effect. She was on this episode where I don't even know. It's so gross. It was like he does lots of weird, gross things, but he did something with her skin, and all of a sudden there were like maggots on it.
Ugh.
I know. And she's like, weird. How did that happen? She's so like deadpan, and she was like, and she's a comedian too, and she didn't know like she was being punked. She was like, what's happening? Oh, I would have like flipped out. And she's like, ew, gross. She's like, that's pretty gross.
That would freak me out.
Right?
No.
Oh my God. Another one, the Jamie Kennedy Experience.
Oh yeah, I remember that one too.
And then Borat.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Borat that was like a whole movie. That took a
Yeah,
lot.
his is more intellectual pranking, which is
Yes.
a whole nother level. And he was the king of being able to take on a different persona, and you did not suspect him of being anything other than who he was pretending to be.
Right?
Yeah.
But also Jamie Kennedy did that. They would put on prosthetics and stuff on his face and turn him into another character. And I think that was before Borat.
Yeah. And we're saying all this, and I think the irony is, you know what this week is, or was by the time people listen to the podcast?
Oh, yeah.
April Fools! See, we could have.
Did you think we were going to say Passover?
Or Good Friday?
Yeah.
Nah.
Oh my God! Speaking of Passover, it took me about 2 hours to chop 6 pounds of apples, and I started FaceTiming mommy about it, and I was like, "Is this too big for a chunk?" And what do you think her reply was?
I don't know.
I don't know. Say how well. She goes, well, if you have to ask, it's probably too big.
Chop it again. Chop it again.
Chop it again. One more time. And I was like, this is going to take forever.
Yeah. That was the smartest thing I did. I tasked mommy with making the charoset for our Seder. It's my least favorite thing to make.
Well, so my friend Brittany, she's like my friend who we never see each other in person. But when we get on the phone, we'll talk for like an hour about the most random stuff.
Yeah.
And we're always like on the same page, or we have like some funny conversation. And this week it was about charoset, which
can we stop for a second? Yeah. Can you explain to our non-Jewish listeners what this is and why we're obsessed with it?
Yeah. So first of all, the Passover, when we get together, we tell the story of Passover. There's a book called the Haggadah that helps us walk through the story. And then we have a Seder plate, which has all these symbolic foods on it that are part of the story. One of the foods is called charoset, and it's supposed to represent the brick and mortar that the Jews used to create the pyramids. So it is made out of apples, some sort of nut, like a walnut or a pecan, a ton of manischewitz, some cinnamon, and then some people add raisins, some people add sugar, some people add lemon, but that's
I've never seen it with raisins. Well, maybe like dates
Really?
if it's a Sephardic.
Yeah, there's a
charoset,
different
yeah.
version. So people have different consistencies they like it. It's kind of like a chutney, right? So I called her up because she was talking about her recipe and how much she loved it, but knowing her, I said, but it's not a recipe, right? It's a feeling. She's like, yes, and she told me she uses a Cuisinart, and And
Oh,
that's what I wanted to call her about. I go, "Look, what do you mean you use a Cuisinart? How does that work?" She goes, "Well, do you have the grading component of a Cuisinart?" And I said, "What kind of housewife do you think I am? Of course I have all the Cuisinart components." So she shreds hers. She
oh,
uses the
gross.
shredding, and
No,
I was like,
no.
I don't know about that. She goes, "Well, it's how you grew up. I grew up with it shredded. If you grew up with it chunky, you're not going to like it shredded." So we sent each other pictures, and we both were gagging at
Yeah,
each
I'm
other.
gagging.
I
You know what
know
I'm
she sent
picturing
it to
right
me.
now?
Oh God, yeah, it's
I am
like
picturing
carrot salad.
yes! I'm literally
Yeah,
picturing the carrot salad
from
that,
Publix.
sorry, cousin
Yeah,
JJ
sorry, Jason.
brings Thanksgiving because he orders the Publix fried chicken
Yeah,
and you get sides with it. And for some
I don't know
godforsaken
why.
reason,
Carrot
he
salad.
has convinced himself people like this awful
Carrot
carrot
salad.
salad. And in fact,
It has raisins
we
in it, by the way.
it's disgusting. We
I
picked
know.
up the
Shredded
chicken this
carrots and
year.
raisins and God knows what are in that thing.
Yeah. And we picked up you picked up, who did? Stuart picked up the chicken this year, and I was like,
No
do
carrot
not,
salad. Leave
for
it.
the love of all things Thanksgiving, even go near the side aisle. We've got plenty of sides. Do not
Yeah.
get the carrot salad. And I thought Jason was going to be like, oh, and he goes,
I love
what?
it.
I
That is
love
my
it. And
favorite.
every year there's so much left over, and I take it
That's
home and I
why.
eat it for weeks.
He loves
Like,
it.
it is disgusting.
That's why we've all paid for his carrot salad addiction all these years.
Yeah. It is disgusting.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Passover. I have about 26 people coming over. I
Okay.
cleared out my living room by myself. I will add. Alan's like, of course you did, because I'm a firstborn and I have to do things by myself. And if you could
Just
see,
like Moses.
just like Moses, and I'm sure like him, some days he wants to put me in a basket down by the river. There's furniture all in my office. There's furniture in the piano room. It's the only way I can get everybody in one room. But I finally gave up on having one long table. We just kept adding people to the Seder. So now I have 3 different tables. And especially, you can't really speak to everybody at a huge long table anyway. So this is for the best. But I've got puppets. I've got musical instruments. I've got the little masks that you wear for the 10 plagues. I try to make it as fun as possible. What I
Like you-
haven't done,
This is not, by the way, if you
anything
don't
new?
know about
Yes.
no, not anything new. I'm just if this is new to you, you're saying masks for the plagues that people wear. This is not something that other Jewish families are doing, Allison. And you're making it sound like it's a normal thing. So someone's going to like go be invited to their friend's Seder for the first time and be like,
Yeah.
wear the plague masks. And they're going to be like, what are you talking about? And they're going to be like, Allison said there's masks you wear for
That
Where
I
are your
bought at
puppets?
Publix.
wear your
I wear-
puppets.
Wear your puppets.
Your Seder doesn't have puppets. This is not normal stuff that
know.
other people have.
All right, let me back up for 1 second. Let me back up for 1 second. So traditionally, since we have 2 different Seders in our tradition, I always
In
hosted the second
Allison's
one.
tradition, not our tradition, as in the Jewish tradition.
Sorry, not in my tradition. In conservative Judaism tradition, we have 2 Seders. So you
yes.
probably don't because you're, I don't know, a blasphemous Jew. So
Okay, Arlene.
just kidding. No judgment, really. Anyway, so the second Seder or meal was always at our house. And because we'd already done it once in a pretty formal setting at one of my in-laws, then I was like, okay, let's do the opposite. Nobody wants to sit around for another one. So let's make it fun. I
Yeah.
also feel like, there were so many kids at the time.
It's
How do
my
we make it
favorite.
engaging? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I bought years ago, I went on one of these Christian websites and got the puppets, and they look
Bible
like,
puppets.
yeah,
Bible
Bible puppets. I
puppets.
think one's technically King David, and that's
Passover, the
fine.
musical. Allison's
Ooh.
written like 3 or 4 different musicals for
I have
Passover.
written many musicals. We've performed them.
You have
I like music. Well, all of this to say is we always had like the second night Blue Jean Seder with the musical Passover puppet musical and all the stuff. Well, now because all of my in-laws in town have downsized, they literally can't even host the first one.
so
So
you've
it's
got
now
to.
fallen on us.
Yeah.
But I'm not reverting to a very,
Keep it fun.
traditional, very formal Seder. I'm still doing the fun Seder. So I always
for
think to
you.
myself, what will drive my brother-in-law, Michael, crazy? How many times can I get him to roll his eyes during one meal?
Passover
And
bingo.
yeah, it is. I should pass out those cards. Michael
Yeah.
Lebovitz rolled his eyes. And if I can get him to do that at least, let's say as many times as we say the plagues, then I think we're in good shape. I think I've done my duty.
I think the highlight for me was being a part of your Blue Jean Seder, where you also had voiceover of the voice of God incorporated into the play that I got to be a part of, and you found a Morgan Freeman sound-alike to be the
Yes.
voice of God. And we're going to play that. If you can find it, we should play it at the end or insert it right here.
Since
It was so
I actually
incredible.
own the rights to this, unlike many of the songs we've tried to insert and gotten flagged by Apple and other podcast sites. Yes, so this was on Fiverr. If you don't know Fiverr, it's a great place where, technically you can spend $5 or more to find anything you need. And during COVID, the Passover puppet show musical I did online. I recorded it all from my computer. I borrowed a green screen from the station from PBS, and my narrator. I hired all these people through Fiverr, and one was a Morgan Freeman sound-alike. And you decide for yourself if he sounds like him.
Our story begins with the birth of a baby boy. His name is Moishi.
Well, thanks for listening to the latest Sis and Tell podcast. Don't forget to share us with your friends, share us with your family, share us with your foes.
As always, this has been Amanda and Allison with a whole lot of talk about a whole lot of nothing. We'll catch you next time.